Hello, everyone. You're listening to Alternative Revelations with Linda Emanuel. And this is podcast number 124. And it's a pretty big podcast. Lots been going on, making a lot of decisions. And I just ask that if this resonates with you, so be it. If not, just toss it out with the with the dirty dishwater. As you know, I kind of had a spiritual breakdown about 2 weeks ago thinking, am I doing the right thing? And I asked God for a sign. And sure enough, Rubber Ducky gave me a sign to keep moving forward. The deep state doesn't like the stuff that I come out with, mycoplasma and other things. They don't want people to get well. They also don't want you to know about the 5G, distracting everybody with the COVID and the mask and everything. But it's being installed. It's being put in the ground. It's being going to be put above ground and below ground. And it's going to be the last week, starting about a week before Halloween. It's when it's going to hit. And since I crossed the line, my life could be in danger. So about 4 o'clock this morning, by the way, I take my son to the train station every day about 4:30. And today I drove my son to the train station in Shrewsbury, Missouri about 4:30. And I'm on my way home at about 4:45. And I live on off a street called Gravois in Afton, Missouri. So when I turn onto Gravois, I see this white light in the sky, and it was too low to be the moon, and there was clouds around it. It was really bright. So I'm looking at this thing, and it's following me along Gravois. It's kind of keeping up with me, and it's to my left. I get to the stoplight, I hit the red light, and I'm sitting there, and I'm looking at this thing. And so I get the green light, and I pull over immediately. I pull over to the right into a parking lot, and I'm sitting there looking at this thing, and it's a bright light behind these clouds, and it's real low, and it's no way it's the moon. So I start taking pictures of it. And then I went home, and I jumped out of my car in my apartment parking lot. I ran as fast as I could to the west end of the apartment complex, and there the white light was leaving, and I took a picture of that too. So later on that morning, I called Joanne, and I also started asking questions of Creator, and I just knew this was a spacecraft, but I had never seen a UFO, and I felt like they were watching me and following me. So when Joanne came over this morning, she looked at the pictures and she said, see, she showed me, she pointed out the UFO, and she explained that around the UFO, it's kind of misty and cloudy, and there was like a bright light right on it, and you could see the windows if you looked really careful. And then Creator starts telling me that they were friendly and that they were going to protect me. They really want this information out. So I've had so many confirmations that, well, if you still don't believe it, that's your choice. But when October comes, you're going to, if you're in one of these cities, you're going to have a plan, what to do, where to go. And plans just changed in St. Louis, Missouri. We were told about 2 weeks ago or a week ago that Ameren UE, somebody in the Ameren UE wasn't going to let the 5G go forward. But now we're getting the dark forces put somebody in high command on Ameren UE, and now almost the entire St. Louis County area is going to be under attack because I think the city of St. Louis is very small population. Most of the population, a couple million, are in the suburbs and the surrounding area on the east side of the river, across the Mississippi River into Illinois, where there's East St. Louis, Edwardsville, Carbondale, Belleville, Fairview Heights. Those are all going to be under attack now, and so is St. Louis County. And I'm going to go over the cities that I've had to add some cities. Things changed a little bit. Some safe cities we were told were going to be safe. They're no longer going to be safe. Now I'm going to read you the safe states first. There's 29 of them, and here goes. And I apologize, these aren't in alphabetical order. We started from the west and went east. And Joanne confirmed all of these, and we confirmed them separately. We were not relying on each other to get verifications. So these are some of the safe states that are not going to have the 5G in October. This does not mean that it's not going to be installed and turned on later on, but these are the safe states so far. The state of Washington, the state of Idaho, the state of California, the state of Nevada, New Mexico, Wyoming, Alaska, Montana, North and South Dakota, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Iowa, Arkansas, Tennessee, Kentucky, Alabama, Florida, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, Vermont, Maine, New Hampshire, Maryland, District of Columbia, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, and Delaware. I think there's 29 of them. Those are the safe states that will be safe in October. Now, the list grew on these cities that are going to be under attack, and it's just horrendous. And I take this very seriously. I'm going to start on the West Coast, Oregon, Portland. The next state, there's 3 cities in Arizona, Phoenix, Yuma, Flagstaff. The next state is Utah, which is Ogden. The next one is Nebraska. There's several cities in Nebraska. Hastings, Norfolk, Papillon, South Sioux City, I think it is, Lexington, Blair, and McCook. So in Colorado, 2 cities, Colorado Springs and Pueblo. And there's a reason for these 2 cities. These 2 cities are home rule, which means they have a different type of government than normal. The next state is, again, Kansas was off the hook for a while. Mineola, El Dorado, and Wichita. Those are going to be the 3 cities in Kansas. Oklahoma is going to be Oklahoma City. The next one is Louisiana, Shreveport, Louisiana. And the reason the Jesuits are attacking this is it goes back to the Civil War when they wanted to kill a lot of Protestants in the South. Shreveport, Louisiana is the Bible Belt for Baptists. That's what we're getting. These Jesuits are ruthless. Mississippi, South Haven, Mississippi. Missouri, oh my gosh, this is my home state. The only safe place is North County, Oakville, Lemay, and Ladue, where the rich people live, and Frontenac. It's where the club lives, I think. And the city of St. Louis. St. Charles, Missouri, you're safe. Okay, going on in Missouri, Springfield, Missouri, a nice little town by Branson, Missouri, is going to be under attack. Cape Girardeau, again, Cape Girardeau is going to be under attack. Poplar Bluff, Michigan, Grand Rapids. There's a reason about Grand Rapids. It's a Jesuit revenge dating back to around World War I and II. The Jesuits do not forgive and forget. 50 years after Hannibal's death, they destroyed Carthage, which was the main city of Phoenicians. And Hannibal, if you remember, Hannibal destroyed Italy. He invaded it from the Alps with the elephants and other armies, and this was their revenge. They took every single building apart. They sowed the soil with salt so nobody could ever live in Carthage again. They took 50,000 slaves and killed 500,000 people. That's how vengeful the Roman Empire is. And their god is the great deceiver, Satan. So getting back to these hot zones, Indiana, Bloomington, Ohio. This is another a Jesuit revenge. Canton, Ohio, and the reason that is dates back to World War I. It's about vengeance, about a man named Debs who spoke out against World War I. And Hawaii, Honolulu, parts of Honolulu will be under attack. Illinois, Chicago area, East St. Louis, Edwardsville, we will be under attack on both sides of the river. And St. Louis is to the west and Illinois is to the east. And all those cities along the Mississippi right across from St. Louis are going to be under attack. And the last one is Puerto Rico, San Juan, Puerto Rico. So that's an update on the safe and the hot cities in the United States. And I will check Europe. I have not asked Creator about Europe, and oh my gosh. But we're in for something we've never seen in history in October. And you have a heads up. I've listed cities that are going to be hot. I will be doing your city as soon as I can. This is going to take me quite a while, but we have like 2.5 months to get it going. I would suggest, I can't tell you what to do. I would suggest you have a plan, where to go, where you can go to be safe. Just be prepared. And I've already listed some cities like Atlanta area, Dallas, Fort Worth area. Those 2 areas are huge. New York, New Jersey, you're huge. These are monster areas they're covering. And I think I've also done Charleston, West Virginia, Richmond, Virginia, Midland, Texas. That was another interesting one. Sandy Hook, Connecticut. I'm just trying to remember. Vancouver, Canada. That was really a twist. Why Vancouver, Canada? And I will post that picture of the UFO on my YouTube. So until next time, good night and God bless. Now the following is a photo of the flying saucer. Well, what you're looking at is a photo I took after I went through the red light or green light and parked in the parking lot. On the left-hand side, you can see a real close-up. This has not been photoshopped, by the way. You can see a real close-up of the flying saucer. In fact, you can see little windows around the middle. And I still don't understand why there was such a bright light coming out of it. This wasn't very high up in the sky. This was kind of low down. There was no moon Monday morning, or yeah, Monday morning. And the last picture you'll see on the right is when it's leaving. There's two lights in the sky. When I got out of my car in the parking lot where I live, I ran to the west and was between the two buildings, and that's when I took the photo of them, of this craft leaving.